Hello and welcome. First of all, thank you for being a substitute at the Sequoia Union High School District. Your job is crucial to helping our students continue learning even with their teacher absent. Thank you so much. This video will walk you through how to start and run a Zoom meeting for substitutes. For starters, you should have access to this document that walks you through starting and running a Zoom meeting. This document is comprehensive and takes you through every step that you'll need. Thank you for watching, and again, thank you for being a substitute at the Sequoia Union High School District. You will receive a Zoom link and Zoom login information from your school site. So to start the meeting, you will be given the Zoom link. Click on the Zoom link to start the meeting. When you see the pop-up message, Open Zoom US app, click Open Zoom US app. Once you've opened the meeting, you may get a message about adding computer audio. Click Join with Computer Audio. You've now launched the meeting. You can open the meeting up to full screen, or, as it says on the screen, you can press Escape or double tap to make the meeting not full screen, or you can exit full screen by hovering in the corner and clicking that. I like to keep my meetings not full screen so that I can see what else is going on my computer desktop. One thing you'll notice is at the bottom, you'll have your menu options. If they disappear, you can hover at the bottom and they'll show up again. All right, it looks like we have a student in the waiting room. You'll see a message. If you don't, you'll also see a little dot in participants. As well, you might hear a little doorbell sound. It's easiest if you click on the participants icon in the menu bar, because then you'll be able to see all of the guests as they wait in the waiting room. It's recommended, it'll be easier for you if you take attendance on paper while you admit students. You'll have a list of students that should be in the class. Only admit the students that appear on your list. If they don't appear, you can remove them from the meeting. So if this student appears on the list, then you can check it off the list and click Admit. Now we see we have 2 people in the meeting. You'll be in the meeting and any of your students. You can change the view so you can just see the speaker, or I like to use gallery view to see as many students as possible at one time. Some other things that you'll need to be aware of are that you can chat during the meeting. So again, when you see the menu at the bottom, you can click on Chat. And so you can send a message to everyone. If you want to send a link to everyone, you can paste it into the chat, or you can type something and let everybody know what's happening. You can also message an individual student. Right now there's only one person, but I can choose to message just to sample student 1. And that message just goes to that one student rather than everybody. In the settings, we have disabled chats between students. Please keep that setting disabled. Students should not be able to privately chat with each other. You may find that you want to turn off the setting for students to chat with everybody in the meeting. That's possible as well. In chat, you can click on the 3 dots, and then you can change to host only. So if you notice that the chat is getting a little bit overused or inappropriate, you can definitely turn that on, and then students can't chat with each other at all. They can only chat with you. That's probably a good idea. Another thing that you can do is you can mute participants. You can mute everybody with the one touch of a button. And you cannot allow participants to unmute themselves by unchecking the box. So if people are talking too much and unmuting themselves, you can take care of that. As well, you can remove students if you need to, or just send them back to the waiting room for a little bit if you think they just need a bit of a break. So you can hover over the student name and click on More, and we can put that student back into the waiting room. What I like to do at the start of a meeting is get all of my sharing set up before I let anybody in. So I'll get my meeting launched about 15 minutes before it's going to start. And that way, if students start to join, they'll be in the waiting room. You can also message the waiting room. So I can send a message to everyone in the waiting room. As more people join the waiting room, you'll need to resend that message, but you can copy it and just keep on pasting it. So to share your screen, at the bottom, you'll click Share Screen. So if a teacher has left lesson plans for you to share something with the audience, click Share Screen, but be careful with what you share. It is not recommended that you share the entire desktop because you might include something in the desktop that you wouldn't want your students to see, such as Infinite Campus or your email. So I like to just share an individual browser window. If you are planning on showing a video or playing any kind of audio, make sure to click Share Computer Sound. If you have a video you need to share, I would also click the Optimize Screen Share for Video clip. Now I'm sharing this screen, and you can tell which screen you're sharing. I'll minimize what I don't want to show, which is Infinite Campus. But you can tell because you'll see this green outline around the window. So here's another reason why I like to have it not in full screen. Okay, you can play around with your images of which videos you see. And you can see, okay, 2 people have entered the waiting room. But I've lost all of my Zoom controls. What do I do? So if you've lost your Zoom and you don't see it, you can hover near the top once you're sharing, and your menu bar will come in. I'm going to click on Participants because I'd like to see my participants, and I like to just move that over so I can see them at all times. You can change the size and shape of what you're sharing so that way you can see other controls. I also want to continue to show the chat. So I'm going to add that back in. Okay, now I can see I have 2 students in the waiting room. Again, make sure to check your list so that you're only admitting the people that you want to. And we can let them in. Okay, right now I'm only seeing 1 person in my video, but I want to see more. So I'm going to click the thumbnails, and you'll be able to see everybody here. If you get too many people in your meeting, some screens can show up to about 15. Then you'll have a few pages of people here. You can increase the size. There will be a little kind of stripy triangle in the corner, and you can drag that to show more. Oh dear, sounds like we have a student that is being disruptive. So I'm going to take that student, and I can tell who is unmuted. There are 2 things that I can tell. I can see this outline around sample student 2. That tells me that's the person whose microphone is being picked up. Also, in my participant list, I can see their microphone showing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute that student. But that student can still unmute themselves. So what if they unmute themselves and cause further disruptions? I'm going to remove that student from the room. Now you have 2 options. You can put the student in the waiting room or remove them altogether. I'm just going to put this student in the waiting room. Maybe they'll be able to figure out how to behave, and then I can invite them back in. So now what I can do is I can send them a chat as well. Okay, so I can send a chat to the waiting room. Okay, so you can send a message letting them know this is a warning. And then you can let them back in. When you're ready to stop sharing your screen, you can click Stop Share. Once you are done with the meeting, you can simply click End Meeting. Let everybody know. Thank you for a great class, everyone. I'll be sure to report back to your teacher only positive messages. So once you're ready to end the meeting, you'll click End, and then End Meeting for all. And that's it. That is how to run a Zoom meeting as a substitute. Thank you for watching, and again, thank you for being a substitute at the Sequoia Union High School District.